Every day is a different day. Every day things happen. Dangerous things happen. Funny things happen.
Alex Debogorski had survived many near-death experiences before he became renowned on ice road truckers. In the span of a week, he weathered 11 attempted robberies, 37 bar fights, and a coal mine near miss. However, he was unprepared for what followed. Tragedies such as the deaths of 2 kids, overwhelming debt, and a potentially fatal disease befell him as his TV celebrity increased. At 71 years old, the ice road conqueror is now facing his greatest challenge to yet. The Canadian city of Berwyn is the site of Alex Debogorski's birth on August 4, 1953. The atrocities of Wood were not new to Stanley and Irene, his parents, who were Polish. During operations such as Operation Market Garden, Stanley bravely served as a paratrooper with the Free Polish Brigade. In order to remain alive, he had to even hide from the German forces for weeks. Irene was very amazing as well. Throughout the bombings in England, she attended Cambridge University to study music and mathematics. In the midst of an airstrike in 1943, they happened to cross paths. They were married 6 months after falling in love, despite the mayhem of war. Because of Stalin's rule over Poland and the Soviet Union's treatment of former Free Polish Army members like Stanley, Irene and Stanley were unable to return to their own country after the war. They packed up and headed north to Canada, hoping to start again. They embarked on an overcrowded transatlantic voyage in 1952. While Irene was pregnant with Alex, the voyage was difficult due to heavy waves and her severe seasickness. Halifax, Nova Scotia was their destination 2 weeks later. They then traveled west to Alberta in search of more reasonably priced acreage. Alex was born a year later. He was their first child born in Canada. In northern Alberta, Alex spent his childhood on a farm. It was a hard life. Extremely cold winters, often below -40 degrees Celsius, were common. For months, the snow blanketed the land, and the family labored tirelessly to remain warm and provide food for the animals. In order to get the farm machinery ready for winter, they would cut firewood, save food, and prepare for the coming fall. Alex mastered the art of preparation and maintaining composure under pressure. Nothing improved during the summer, when working outside was made even more unpleasant by the swarms of mosquitoes and black flies brought on by the heat. No matter how unpleasant it was, Alex and his family persevered through it all by tending to livestock and cultivating crops. At 7 years old, Alex was already helping out around the farm with tasks like feeding the birds, gathering eggs, and milking the cows. His duties were expanded as he matured. In order to assist out throughout the long and grueling harvest season, he learned to mend fences and operate tractors. At 14 years old, he and his family toiled constantly for 2 weeks to finish harvesting their crops before an early frost might destroy them. According to Alex, he learned the value of collaboration and perseverance through adversity from that event. While working the land was no picnic, it was not without its share of exciting adventures. On crisp winter evenings, Alex relished the opportunity to see the northern lights dance across the sky. In his spare time, he liked to go on nature walks, converse with birds, and investigate the farm's surrounding woodlands. Yet, he had a rough childhood since he was awkward and timid, making him an easy target for bullies. The time he spent alone as a result of these events shaped his personality and gave him the gift of gab that would serve him well on ice road truckers. Alex was greatly impacted by his family's past. The Germans beheaded his maternal grandfather, a major in the Polish military, who had assisted Jewish refugees from Poland during World War II. Alex carried a strong sense of justice and the fortitude to take risks when it counted with him after hearing this narrative of bravery and sacrifice. Alex and his siblings were instilled with a strong sense of Polish heritage by their parents. Stories about the war, traditional Polish music, and substantial meals were staples at family reunions, helping to perpetuate the legacy. Embark on daring, high-stakes, and incredibly challenging assignments until you become renowned as an ice road trucker, Alex. At the tender age of 18, he began his first job on August 17, 1971, as a bouncer at the notoriously violent Yellowknife Inn. Despite suffering a fractured rib, 2 black eyes, and 37 bars fights in his first week on the job, he refused to back down. He expelled almost 2,000 irate customers and narrowly avoided getting stabbed 13 times in the subsequent 18 months. Alex decided he needed a change in 1973 and got a job as a cab driver in Edmonton. Despite the job's apparent safety, he was the target of 11 robberies in only 6 months. The worst thing that happened was on October 3, 1973, when a fellow passenger attacked him with a knife and demanded payment. Alex, drawing on his background as a bouncer, kept the thief down until the cops came. He fought back, disarmed him, and had him held. As an oil rigger, Alex relocated to Alberta's oil fields in the beginning of 1974. Temperatures as low as 40 degrees Celsius were experienced during his 16-hour shifts. A drilling pipe broke away on July 12, 1974, and it narrowly avoided striking his skull. Alex proved he wasn't scared of risky job by continuing, even though it may have killed him. He began laboring in Grande Prairie, Alberta's coal mines, in November 1974. On a daily basis, he descended 2,000 feet under the earth, where he was under the threat of cave-ins, gas explosions, and lung-damaging coal dust. 3 miners were trapped on March 22, 1975, when a collapse happened. Alex dug for 17 hours straight using just his bare hands and a makeshift shovel in order to rescue them. The courage he displayed and the ability to remain composed under duress were both honed by these difficult tasks. These qualities would subsequently be useful to him in his career as an ice road trucker. Just as exciting was Alex's private life. They tied the knot on June 15, 1972, when he was 19 years old, with Louise, his high school love. Back on September 7, 1969, during a school dance, Alex, a towering 6'3" inches with clumsy dance moves, inadvertently knocked over 5'2" inches Louise, beginning their story. Louise laughed instead of becoming angry, and that was the turning point in their relationship. During their third date, Alex drove her over a frozen lake at night. They were already dangerously near to shore when Alex's lightning reflexes took them to safety when the ice shattered beneath their vehicle. Alex was there for Louise on March 12, 1972, when she found out she was pregnant. He made the ring out of a silver dollar and asked for her hand in marriage, completely oblivious to the judgments of others over their youth. There were just 23 people at the wedding, and the reception was a potluck. On their honeymoon, they dressed formally, drank dandelion wine they produced themselves, and camped out in the wilderness, where they had an encounter with a grizzly bear. The Debogorski family grew accustomed to this level of excitement. Initially, things were terrible. They moved 14 times from 1972 to 1976, including a school bus and a waterless cottage. Birth of their first child occurred on November 18, 1972, during a snowfall, according to Louise. Since they were unable to get to a hospital, Alex gave birth by himself. On September 3, 1972, Alex started his trucking career at the McIntyre Porcupine coal mine. Despite his claims of experience driving trucks on the family farm, he lacked actual experience in the field. His first day on the job was riding shotgun in a gigantic Euclid R50 dump truck, which is about the size of a home. His initial spin nearly caused it to topple over, but he swiftly picked it up. Working in such hazardous situations for so many hours was a nightmare. When a storm was brewing, his vehicle lost control and almost went over a 200-ton drop. Alex triumphed in spite of the dangers, and he was appointed to lead driver by July 1973. Alex, Louise, and their 2 kids relocated to Yellowknife in 1976. They were in possession of $500 and a battered vehicle that had broken down outside of town. Along with pushing it the remaining distance, they also made it their home for 3 weeks, keeping warm with the help of a nearby laundry. Alex overheard a conversation about ice road hauling employment at a cafe on May 17, 1976. He eagerly seized the opportunity, despite his lack of expertise. The ice was thawing, and it was a risky moment for his first journey, which was in late May. Even though his vehicle was on the verge of plunging through the ice, he somehow got it over. Alex was actually inspired to become an ice road trucker after the journey, rather than scared off. He spent the following 3 months learning about truck maintenance, ice roads, and weather. His competence and dependability had earned him a reputation by 1977. In the midst of a blizzard on February 14, 1977, Alex risked everything to bring medicine to a faraway town. He managed to complete the 52-hour trek despite the lack of visibility. Because of his courage and perseverance, he became known as the Ice Road Angel by the locals. Alex Debogorski was going about his regular routine in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories on a chilly January morning in 2007. On that fateful day, everything shifted. Original Productions producers were in town casting for an ice road trucking reality program. Everyone they spoke to in the area kept bringing up Alex. Apparently, he was the ideal ice road trucker. The producers set out to locate him out of pure curiosity. On January 17, 2007, they tracked down Alex at a nearby diner, where he was eating his typical meal of pancakes, bacon, eggs, and salad when they approached him. He mistook them for salespeople at first, but then he realized they were doing a documentary on the perilous profession of ice road trucking. Curiosity piqued, Alex remained wary. His deep voice, enormous personality, and amazing narrative captivated the filmmakers as he described the dangers of isolated wilderness, frozen roads that cracked beneath his vehicle, and frightening creatures. Alex had 26 years of expertise driving on ice roads, so they knew they had discovered their hero after hearing his stories. The idea of appearing on television still frightened Alex. While having supper with his family on February 3, 2007, he brought up the concept. Not everyone was delighted about it, though. His wife Louise was concerned that the cameras might pry into their private and cause them difficulties. Not only was Alex anxious that the program wouldn't devalue ice road trucking, but he also worried that being on camera for weeks would be too much for someone his age, 53. He sought counsel from his fellow truckers, who expressed concern that the potential drawbacks of celebrity may outweigh its benefits. Father Joseph, a local priest, visited with him on March 15, 2007, and encouraged him to listen to his heart while cautioning him about the heavy burdens that would accompany a television career. Not an easy choice, but things took a turn for the worse on April 2, 2007, when Alex's eldest son phoned to bring up the family's financial struggles throughout the years. After that discussion, Alex understood that the show might give them the financial security they required. Alex made up his mind to do it after having one last family chat on April 10, 2007. Subsequent to the start of filming on April 15, 2007, he executed the contract. Instantly, Alex became a fan favorite upon the launch of Ice Road Truckers on June 17, 2007. Fans adored him for his optimistic demeanor, composure under pressure, and unwavering faith. He had gotten more than 3,000 messages from admirers all across the globe by the conclusion of the pilot. Alex remained for all 11 seasons, although the rest of the cast came and left. He was surprised with a party at a truck stop in Manitoba on September 8, 2013 during Season 7, to mark 1,000 days of filming. The team wanted to convey their heartfelt appreciation, so they threw him a surprise. However, obstacles were always close by. Alex had to take time away from the program on January 22, 2008 during Season 2 after suffering a pulmonary embolism, a potentially fatal blood clot in his lung. Fans were relieved when he reappeared in Season 3. Alex has appeared in every one of the show's 138 episodes by the time the 2017 finale aired. At an emotional time reflecting on his 10 years with the series, he taped his final ice road trip for the show on March 15, 2017. Over 3.5 million viewers, including many who came in specifically to see Alex, watched the series finale on November 9, 2017. The rise to fame presented both opportunities and obstacles for Alex's family. His popularity skyrocketed during the first season, and he was invited to make many public appearances and got more than 50 fan letters every day. Over 5,000 people flocked to see him at his first big event, a trucking conference in Dallas on September 12, 2007, and the queue to get his autograph wrapped around the building. But it was tough to be away from home for so long. Alex had been apart from his family for 285 days at the year's conclusion. His youngest children, according to his wife Louise, had it the worst. Alex made it a point to be with his loved ones no matter where he was by calling home every night at 9 o'clock. Even when documenting a perilous ice passage on February 14, 2011, he halted the camera to make a decision. In 2012, Alex was able to acquire a contract that allowed him to take a weekend off every 3 months, allowing him to spend more time with his family. One of his main goals was to provide for his enormous family, which included 11 children and 13 grandkids. He put in 340 days a year of labor before the program, occasionally picking up extra shifts to cover expenses. Birth of his 11th kid on March 18, 2008, only served to strengthen his resolve to achieve his goals. His income has improved by 400% by 2012, thanks to the show's stabilizing effect on his finances. He wasn't, however, only preoccupied with his own needs. Alex established the Debogorski Family Education Fund in 2014 to assist with the education expenses of his grandkids. By 2016, the fund had amassed a total of $500,000. Alex said that his family was the driving force behind his perseverance through thick and thin. "Everything I've done, from driving long distances to taking risks, has been for them," he said in his last interview with the show. "For everything I have them." Because of his perseverance and commitment, Alex became a legend among ice road truckers and an inspiration to fans. But he lived under the constant cloud of tragedy. Alex lost his 41-year-old son, Alexander Jr., also known as AJ, on June 15, 2017. A wife and 6 children were left behind by AJ, further adding to the tragic impact of his unexpected passing on his family and admirers. For Alex, this was far from the first tragedy. Andrew, whom we lost in 2019 at the age of 32, was a resident of our home when it burned to the ground. After losing Andrew to amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, 2 years ago, Alex and his family have endured the unimaginable anguish of losing not 1 but 2 kids in the span of 5 years. Following AJ's passing, a Facebook page named Alexander Jr. was established by fans and other truckers to provide support, Debogorski memories, and share anecdotes and images. The outpouring of affection for AJ was evident in the numerous tributes paid to his generosity, sense of humor, and unwavering commitment to his family. The untimely death of our beloved Alexander Jr., 41 years old, has caused our family tremendous loss, Alex said online in an expression of his sorrow. This little note conveyed the profound sadness he felt for his wife and 6 children. Alex has struggled to keep his public life in check while dealing with such a personal tragedy. He had a reputation on ice road truckers for telling funny stories and having a big laugh, but he was actually carrying a lot of sorrow behind the scenes. In an interview given after Andrew's death in 2019, Alex became visibly distraught as he recalled Andrew's last deed, which was to ensure that his wife and children survived the fire. In spite of all that has happened to her, Alex still makes time to meet fans and go to events. Though some fans have noticed a change in his demeanor, he is still happy to pose for pictures and sign autographs. Alex attributes his resilience to his Catholic religion, which he says provides him with the strength to pray and believe in a greater purpose. Ice Road Truckers was full of amazing memories for Alex. In the 3rd season, while driving on a narrow ice route, his vehicle was almost sideswiped by a fuel tanker. Both drivers slammed on their brakes in an attempt to avoid collision. His lightning reflexes saved the day from an explosion that may have resulted from a collision. In another scene, he calmly guided a 100-ton crane across fragile ice as it cracked beneath him, ensuring its safe delivery. Alex had to deal with many potentially fatal circumstances in the course of his work. In 1999, his vehicle was involved in a near-fatal accident with a frozen lake and its trailer falling into the water. In 2008, he was involved in a blizzard that almost sent him careening off a mountain road as his truck whirled on black ice. His talent and experience let him survive each time. For his work, Alex has received several accolades. His 2012 Ice Road Legend designation came from the Canadian Trucking Alliance. His extraordinary talent and devotion were recognized with 2 honors, an induction into the North American Trucking Hall of Fame in 2014 and a trophy for logging over 1.5 million kilometers on ice roads accident-free. The book, King of the Road: True Tales from a Legendary Ice Road Trucker, was written by Alex in 2010. His thrilling and perilous adventures on ice roads were chronicled in a best-selling book that has been translated into 12 languages. In promotion of the book, Alex visited 20 different locations, where he met readers and told them his extraordinary life story. Alex proved that he was a master storyteller in addition to a skilled truck driver with the book's commercial success. The unfortunate reality is that Alex's health was still negatively affected by the hazards of his job and the road even as he got older. In 2008, while filming Season 2 of Ice Road Truckers, he had a terrifying experience when he was taken to the hospital suddenly after suffering a pulmonary embolism. The dangers of his job were brought to light by this occurrence. Alex broke many bones in his body during his career, including his ankles and legs. He also had multiple concussions and was once struck by a freight train. He was unable to move freely and was in continual discomfort as a result of his injuries. Cold steering wheels, years of climbing into and out of trucks, and the physical strain all contributed to the development of arthritis in his hands and knees, and he even experienced partial hearing loss as a result of the constant noise from the engines. Regardless, Alex has managed his health by taking on shorter, less taxing tasks and has spoken out about the need for greater health care and assistance for drivers. Tragic events have occurred once again in recent years. Alex lost his 41-year-old son, Alexander Jr., also known as AJ, on June 16, 2024. The news of AJ's unexpected death devastated his loved ones and the fans alike. He was survived by a wife and 6 children. Alex had been through worse. In 2019, her son Andrew, who had battled amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, died in a home fire at the age of 32. It has been an exceptionally tough 5 years for Alex and his family, having lost 2 boys in that time. Fans and other truckers came together when AJ passed away, forming a Facebook page named Alexander Jr. Debogorski Memories, to honor AJ's generosity, sense of humor, and unwavering commitment to family. Alex has carried on in remembrance of his family despite the agony. He has taken to the internet to express his loss and has vowed to support issues such as ALS research and fire safety. His personal life has been characterized by tremendous tragedy, yet he is still a beloved figure on Ice Road Truckers thanks to his charismatic narrative and infectious laugh. But his faith and perseverance are an inspiration to truckers and fans everywhere.